lecture on C++ DSA. In this lecture, we are going to cover what is a C++, how to write a basic structure of C++, what are the data types, and what are the identifiers. Let's move to the next part. What is C++, right? Because we should know what is C++. Basically, C++ is a general purpose programming language, extension of C language. How it is extension of C? Because it contains, go to the basic structure of C++. Because from here we are going to start to how to write our code. For writing code in C++, first what we have to do is create a file, and the file will be hello.cpp. Here .cpp is an file extension which represents that it is a source code of C++, just like PDF, .png, they represent the file types. So for C++ file .cpp is our file extension. Let's move to the next part. Let's write the basic structure. First, we have to write the include iostream. This is our header. iostream is our library. What we have to do is we have to use input output in our language. So for that we have to need something which already available in the C++. So we have to include iostream. So we can use io, which is basically input and output. The header file contains extra functions which we will use so we can run our program. Then after header file we are going to write int main std colons cout hello world. Okay, after header file we are going to write int main curly brackets open curly brackets standard std colons cout arrow brackets hello world and semicolon. Going to learn about data types, so I will explain what is int in the future, but we have to write here int. Then after we are going to write a main function. So every C++ programming execute from main function itself. So whenever compiler start executing your C++ program, it always looks for main function. Then it start its process. So after writing main functions, parenthesis, then curly brackets, we are going to write standard. Standard is standard colons cout, which is basically got from our header file. Then after that we are going to arrow bracket, then double quotes, basically it's a string. We are going to learn data types. What are data types? Then up in the string, whatever you write, it will exactly got printed. Okay, so overall code, our code will be like include iostream int main std cout hello, and there is one more thing, is return 0. It will tell the compiler that our code is successfully executed. Okay, so in modern language this is not a compulsory, so you can leave it as it is. One more thing, here you can see we have to write the standard colons. In future we are going to import most of the functions from header files. So if we don't want to write stds colons again, what we can do is remove it from here, and you can write a one line using namespace std. Then we don't have to write std here again and again, because for now we are writing here only for cout, but in future scene income and other vector will come, stack will come. It means whatever we are importing from the libraries, we have to write std colons for everyone. So to skip that part, we should write using namespace std, so it will work for every function which we are imported from header files. So this is our basic structure of C++. Let me explain on the pad first, then we will move on to the coding part. Now let's move to the data types. Basically, what is a data type? You can see here is a two words, right? Data and types. And data means any data which is you are using. When you are using mobile or computers, you are storing images, videos, musics, which is also a data. Computer computer understands in binary language, so it also using 0110 data, which also are data. See, okay, when but we have to specify computer what kind of data we are using, because 010101 it's a binary, it only for a computer. For women to understand, we have to differentiate the data in different types. Like we have a int, basically it is a integer. Everyone knows the integer, it's our numbers, right? So we have to specify int, so computer can understand it is a type of integer. We have a float, basically it's a decimal type. Then we have a it's a character. Number will be 0 to 9 dot dot dot. Decimal will be 1.0 2.132, something like that. For character, for character. Uh, Whenever we are using character, we have to write in a single quotes like A, B, or we can write a like one. So number can be a character also if we write in a single quotes. Then we have at that, whatever we can write, but it must be a single. If you try to write like this, it is a wrong. Okay. Then let's come to the string. Then string basically what we're going to, you can write like it. Now, in this case we have a single character, but if you write in a double quotes, it will become a string. You can write A B C, you can write 1 2 4 5 like this. This is also a string, this is also a string, this is also a string, but this is not a string. Okay. Then we have a boolean. Basically it's right like a boolean. Can see it's a boolean. It basically stores 0 or 1 or for 0 we can say it's a false, for 1 it's a true. Okay. Then what we have, okay, then there is a other data types which we are going to use in our programs. uh, let's talk about int. It's an integer, right? So what happens, integer is of 4 bytes, so it can store up to 32 bits. If we want to store more than 32 bits, we have to use long, which can store 42 bits. Okay. For similarly, float, float can store 4 bytes. Then for longer decimal, we have to use double, which will store 8 bytes. Boolean store 1 byte. Strings, for string it will depend on the number of characters. These are our data type. Int for integer, float for decimal, char for single character, string for multiple characters, boolean for true or false, long for larger integers. Okay, these are our data types. Now let's come to the identifiers. What is identifiers? Then let's see, you can say identity, right? Everyone has an ID from which government or any other institute can distinguish you who you are, right? So for programming language, what previously learned be data types, where we are storing, where we are telling what kind of data it is, but we now we have to store that data. So for that to store that data, we have to name that data. So done. naming of that data. We can say it's identity. Like if I want to store an integer, so what we will I will write int x will be the identifier equals to 2. So what is written here? Data type integer, x is your identifier, or we can see it's a name, or there is another word variable which is storing 2. So x basically contains 2, right? Similarly, we can write like that char ch equals to a, right? Okay, whenever you are finishing the statement, you should write a semicolon. We will see in the coding. Okay, this data type is char, then ch it's a variable name, and equals to a, basically ch contains a. So these are the identifiers. Okay, there is a rules for identifiers. Whenever you are creating identifier, your name should begin with letter or underscore. So what I'm saying, you can write like int where equals to int where equals to 2. Second rule, you can't have spaces. Like if you are trying to int my where equals to 2, trying like that, it is wrong. You can't have space. And there is another rule, you can't have any special characters. Special character basically your add at the rate and percentage has. Okay, you can't have it except underscore, right? So these are the ways you can create your names for variable, like num1 equals to 5, num1 equals to 10. These are the ways you can create your variable name. Number always should come in between or after the variable name. Writing like that or that is wrong. No spaces. Yeah, these are the rules for declaring a variable. Now let's come to the operators. What is operators? Now see, we have to perform operations, right? Because storing data is not the only way to run a program. Let's say we have a int x equals to 10, int y equals to 20, right? What I have to do, I have to sum them up, right? So I can write x plus y. See, up x plus y, right? Then the plus one is my operator, because what it is doing, it's doing its work. And what kind of work it is doing? It's adding these x and y. Then it will be a 10 plus 20. Really, it's a 30, right? Operators are these special characters which helps in arithmetic and logic units. There are multiple operators like plus, minus, modulo. It's a modulo, not a percentage. Divide and multiply, not, less than, greater than, less than equals to, greater than equals to, and comparison and or not. Let's categorize them also. For arithmetic operators, we have plus, minus, modulo, divide. These are our arithmetic operations. Basically, they are helping in calculations. Then we have relational operators, which is basically a helps in comparison, then not equals to, equals to, not equals to, less than, greater than, less than, equals to, greater than, equals to. Okay, then we have logical operators, which helps to decide a condition, and or not. It's a and, it's or and not. Then we have a assignment, like here what we are doing, x equals to 10 means we are assigning 10 to the x. So there is other way to use assignment operators. Equals plus equals means we are assigning plus adding it, assigning and subtracting, assigning and multiplying, assigning and dividing. Then we have there is another operators, increment and decrement. Really plus plus and minus minus. It's an increment, it's a decrement. What will it do? It add one to that variable. Like you have x equals to 5, x plus plus will be 6, x equals to 5, x minus minus will be 4. So that's how the increment and decrement works. And now let's move to the coding part. So whatever we covered in the theories. Now first to open the folder. I just created a desktop. So C++ is a folder. Then open it. Now let's create our first program. It will be hello dot cpp. Okay. Basically I already uploaded a video in which basically it's a setup how to code a C++ in a VS Code. Let's start writing. First we have to write a hashtag include IO stream, which is our header file. So you can see here I'm writing a double forward slash then header file. Basically it's a comment when compiler is executing that C++ file, it will ignore the comments. Okay. Now we are writing int main, then curly brackets, then what we are going to write cout equals to hello. Okay, that's it. And we have to write one more line using name space std. So now I already covered in the topic how to run it. So there is a button. You can directly run it from here. You can see here hello got printed. Now you can type something random and run it. It will print it again. Now let's see how to declare a variables. Let's say start with int uh, number equals to 20. So here you can see whenever we are ending a statement, basically this line is a statement. Now we have to at the end of that line we have to write a semicolon. So C++ compiler can understand it's the end of the line. Right? For header file we don't have to write it. For curly brackets we don't have to write it, but for the this line std and for the variable declaration we have to write. We can do it in int number num2 equals to 6. Then what? Let's do it. Let's use one of our operators, num1 plus num2. Right? What it will print? It will print the sum of both of the numbers to declare the 76. If you use a, let's copy it. Let's put it here a minus sign. What it will print? 76 minus 36 because it also printing a 76 from here and minus 36 from here. So what we can do it is coming in the single line. For bringing it to the next line, what we have to do is add two more arrows, then write ENDL handle. ENDL handle means end line. So what will happen now? It will come in the next line. So we will write for every program ENDL, right? Or and we can do the operations num2 and what will print multiplication of both the numbers. And add more things in between it. Like from here, you can also string a sum of num1 and num2 like that. So the, whatever we write here in double quotes, the out will print as it is. Okay, here then we are using sum of num1 and num2 is 76. But make sure you are these variables is not writing in the double quotes. If you write in the double quotes, C++ will treat them as a string, not a variable. Okay. Let's clear it up. Let's declare other things. Uh, let's keep it into a equals to 2, float equals to 5, and char, char equals to single quote 7, and string str will be its name. Then what we can do is hello, right? Okay. Then let's print time, out a. Okay, that's right. And then let me copy paste it to write it here, th, str. Let's clear it up. Then we can run it again. Here is your output 27257 and hello. Okay, that's how we declare variables in different data types. That's it for data types and identifiers. Okay, one more thing. Whenever you are declaring a variable, you have to keep the name like here is str. So there should be a exact match. Means there should not be like this. Here you have made a small s, yeah, capital S. If you try to run it, you will get an error. And what is an error? STR was not declared in this scope. Do you mean STR? So we haven't declared capital STR, but we have declared a small STR. So you have to make sure your naming convention should be accurate.